Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. So I heard some news, heard some rumors that Hummer will be making an electric Hummer kind of vehicle. So as we know the story with Hummer. Hummer made a couple of cars. They made H1, H2, H3, and then I don't think they made anything after the H3 and it died. It was just it wasn't it the H3 was really not a very good car. It had terrible gas mileage. There were a lot of things. But apparently, General Motors is ready to make another Hummer. So they're saying here, I'm reading this is from The Verge. I was trying to also see if they have any pictures of it. I think this is the best one we got, but I think that's fake. I don't think that's a real one. So we'll have to see how it looks. Personally, I hope it looks like a Hummer H1. I hope it looks like this Hummer right here. I hope it's like a Hummer H1. That would be really cool. But I was reading this article here, and they have a bunch of them. They have it from. I was just looking at that one. They also have one from Car and Driver. This is a while back though, and that's actually good. Look at this. Reports are talking about military-inspired SUV. So I'm hoping it's like an H1, but I think a Hummer, electric Hummer, would be an absolute smash hit. I think people would love an electric Hummer. It's big, it's it's cool. I mean, I still see Hummers driving around. There's a guy down the street that owns a Hummer. He owns a Hummer H1, and he drives it occasionally. It's really cool. But anyway, there's a ton of reports about this all electric Hummer, so that will definitely be something interesting. I'm wondering. So I know that GM hasn't really made any electric cars, but I'm wondering if this will be one of the first ones they're gonna make that's gonna be actually cool. So we'll have to see what happens, but an electric Hummer would be definitely really really cool. Now I believe Arnold Schwarzenegger had one. Uh, believe he had an electric Hummer. Did not put a space there. There it is. So yeah. So here we go. I want something like that. I literally want this red Hummer that they're showing. Is that him? Oh, that's him right there. Oh, so I think that's him actually. Is that Arnold? Can't really see. I think that is. It kind of looks like him. I don't know, but I just want something like that. I want the kind of boxy military design. I didn't think the H2 was okay. Let me look at a Hummer H2. I haven't seen one in a long time. I thought it was. Yeah, H2 wasn't very good actually. I'll take it back. It was okay. The H3 was a disaster. The H3 was just hideous. If I remember, no, the H3 was really bad. I remember the H3. It tried to be more flashy, but it just ended up getting the worst gas mileage ever, and it just never really took off. And it tried to come off as cool, but nobody really ever thought it was cool. I don't know. It just went downhill. So wow, they offered them all the way up to 2010. I thought they died in like 2008 or something. Huh. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, if we can get like a Hummer H1 though, that would be so prime. Yeah, I can. Oh yeah, this one right here. That's like the one that my neighbor has. Something's really similar to that. If we could get one of those, that'd be cool. Now, something interesting to know would be what would be the 0 to 60 speed of this Hummer, because as we know, electric motors they get 100% of the torque at exactly 0 RPM. So this Hummer has a chance of actually being sub 10 second 0 to 60. Because what is, just out of curiosity, what is the 0 to 60 of a Hummer? It's probably, I'm gonna guess 17 seconds. That it sounds rough, but that's probably what it is. Oh wow, they're a lot faster than I thought. Oh, that's an H3. Yeah, it had like no power from what I remember. It'd also be interesting to know how much power we can get in it, because this is quite a big chassis, so you could fit a lot of batteries in that. Let's see, can we get a number? 22 seconds. Wow, I was even a little off. Dang. So if we could, if this Hummer that we get could get 0 to 60 in under 10 seconds, That would be really cool. I would assume that, so the regular Hummer H1 had about 190 horsepower. If they make something similar to this, now I know they won't make it exactly the same because aerodynamics and all of that garbage, but if they can make something similar, it doesn't need to be the same. Like if it just, I think that boxy kind of design, it's really what was appealing about a Hummer. But I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off. So I mean, it's really up to GM and how they're going to do it. But if it can kind of look like a Hummer, even just remotely, if you could stand like 5 feet back and be like, oh yeah, that's a Hummer H1, and then you're actually like, oh no, that's not actually. It's actually the new one. I think that would be a big seller. I think that the big wheels were these big tires, these big grippy all off-road tires are important. I think that kind of front headlight kind of look is important too. Something they could definitely improve on is so the original reason why the Hummers are one of the only vehicles you'll ever see that have glass that is completely straight, like a window almost, because the advantage of it is that you're able to take a piece of metal and put it over it if somebody shoots your glass out. But for everyday use, most of the time people aren't shooting at you on a daily basis. We hope. Yeah, so I think that maybe if it had kind of like a regular glass kind of, I mean, I think that this looks like really cool. Like I would prefer if they just didn't change anything and they just started making this car with electric motors. That would be really cool. If they started making a diesel one, I'd be pretty happy too. I really wouldn't care. But I mean, I think that if they brought something like this back into production, I definitely would definitely go pick one up. At least test drive it. At least. That would be really cool. And they got to make sure they keep a good price range. I think that if they shoot for kind of a large SUV kind of price, about base, let's say about $50,000, and they probably can go all the way up until about 80,000, 90,000 for like a high end one. Kind of in the in the large pickup truck, F-250, Ram 2500, kind of range, kind of in that area, because I'm gonna assume that if they made something like this, it'd probably weigh 7,000-8,000 pounds, maybe even 9 with batteries. So I wouldn't really know, but definitely this is something to look out for. They're claiming it's gonna. From what I heard some rumors, they said that this apparently they're gonna announce this in 2022. So we're not really too close to it right now, but I think that we're gonna be hearing more news about it. Also, everybody, check out. I'm going to be doing more coverage about the Ford Bronco coming up. I know that a lot of people have been talking about it. Ford Bronco is definitely a bigger car that's going to be announced soon. We already kind of saw a sneak peek of it with they had a Baja race with it, so we'll have to stay tuned for that. But other than that, that's all I have to say. I hope that they actually go through with this electric Hummer. And like I said, this only just came out like a couple days ago, January 10th. So there's a chance this could be in the works. That'd definitely be very cool. All right, everybody. Well, if you liked this video or disliked it, you know what to do. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video, everybody.